welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to do my nighttime vacation look. I just posted, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 videos back, my daytime look. And I told y'all that I was also going to do a nighttime. Also, somebody asked me to do a video on like the skincare and makeup that I took. So I'm going to tell you like all the makeup that I took with me as I go along per step, so you can kind of get an idea of how I packed for it. I think that's it. There's not really much else to say. This is a look, an exact look that I did do on the cruise if we had like a dinner or show or something to go to. So it will give you an idea of a true vacation look, in my opinion, for nighttime. When you've got somewhere to go, when you're going out, you're going to dinner, you're going to a club, whatever you do, I don't know. I'm not a big clubber, but you know, I'm also old, so so if you are interested to see how I got this look, with the exception of the primer and the lipstick, those are the only 2 things that weren't exactly the same, then just keep on watching. One of you asked me like to maybe film a video on the skincare and makeup that I brought with me, and so I decided that I would just kind of go through the makeup that I'm using right now, because everything that I'm going to use today I actually brought with me on my cruise. And honestly, I didn't bring that much more. My skincare, I brought everything I normally use, because I didn't want to deviate from that for a whole entire week. So let's go ahead and get started on the makeup. So this is what I would wear when we actually went out at night, or not out, I mean we were on a boat, but you know what I mean. If we went to like a nicer specialty restaurant, or if we had a show, or you know, something else. It's really storming pretty bad here, so if you hear thunder or noises, that's what it is. So what I'm going to do, I've already done my brows and primed my eyes, and I'm going to start off doing a really light transition code. I've been doing website work, so I've got code on my mind. Transition shade, and I took the Makeup Atelier Natural Chestnut palette, which I think I mentioned I was going to because I love it. And I'm just going to mix these 2 shades, this one and this one, because I don't want it to be too dark. I just want to kind of put a little bit of color in my crease, and I'm just going to run that kind of as a base for the only crease color that we're going to use. Y'all know I'm pretty like simple when it comes to my makeup, eye makeup looks anyways, and when I travel I'm like very simple. Like I'm not going to go do any kind of like liner or outer V work or anything like that. It's just not something that I really want to spend my time on when I'm on vacation, so we're only going to use 1 crease color after this. All right, so my base, I bought one of these, and then I went back and bought 2 more because they're so good. It's the Catrice Cosmetics Stylo eyeshadow pen. Y'all know how I love cream eyeshadows. I really love them in a stick form, and I always put a base down under my lid color. This is the color, oh, here it is. Copper and Paste. It's number 30. And that's it right here. It's very similar to my Laura Mercier copper eyeshadow cream stick thingy. So anyways, I'm just going to lay this down as a base because the eyeshadow that we're using on top is pretty much the exact same color. Now these aren't as creamy as Laura Mercier's. They do kind of pull a little bit more, but the Laura Mercier's are what, like almost 30 bucks, and this is $5.99. So, okay, the only other eyeshadow palette that I brought other than this is the 4 new shades that I purchased from the Anastasia Beverly Hills Summer Collection. So these are them right there. We have, I believe this is Sunset, Golden Copper, what is this? Brick, and then this is Vermeer, which is also in the Modern Renaissance palette, but I love it for a highlight shade, so I want to get it separate. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mix these 2 colors right here and put that over the base that we just put down. I did take a couple of the Butter London Glaze-In eye glosses, but honestly I think I used 1 of them one night and that's it. This is just so much easier to just pull out and pop on real quick, so zoom you in a little bit more. It's so dark in here. I feel like it's nighttime because it's storming so badly outside. Okay, and then I'm just going to take Brick right here in my crease, and that's all we're going to do. I know probably some of y'all are going to ask me if these new colors are worth it, and honestly, these 2 lid colors together are very similar to henna, which hopefully they still have. I don't know if that was limited edition or not, but I've used that in a look before, and it's very similar to that. So really, I don't think you need them when you can get something so similar in a shade that already exists. But I do like the crease color that I just used, and we will go in and highlight with that Vermeer a little later on, but that's all I did for the eye. Now, today, it's been a while since I did like my skincare, so I'm gonna go in with some squalene oil from The Ordinary and put literally a drop on my finger, put my 2 fingers together, and I'm just gonna pat that on my under eyes because I want them to be super hydrated for when we go in with concealer and stuff. So that's what I've been doing lately, and I like it. Honestly, I did not take a full-size primer. When I travel, I take my little packets of primers that, you know, you always get inevitably with every order. And that way it takes up minimal space, but that I actually use them. Because if I don't take them when I travel, then they just end up staying in a drawer, and I rarely ever use them. But today I'm going to use the YSL Touche Éclat Blur Primer. So this is pretty much the only thing that I'm going to use that I didn't actually take with me. But I really like it, so that's what I'm going to use. So I just took 2 pumps of that. I'm going to slide it, rub it in all over my face. This stuff feels so good. And really just makes any foundation look amazing. For my corrector, the only corrector I took was my Tarte CC because, I mean, it's small. It doesn't take up a lot of room. It's easy to travel with. So I'm just going to apply that. Real quick, I just put a little bit on the tip of my Delium Tools brush that I use so much. And I'm just putting it in the inner corner where I have the most darkness, where most of us have the most darkness. Now for foundation, I took the 2 that I'm about to use, my NARS Tinted Moisturizer because it had an SPF 35 in it, and my Too Faced Born This Way. So those are just the 3 options that I took. But this is kind of, even though these are 2, I always use them together. It's the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte and the Becca Aqualuminous Foundation. So this is in the color 104 Golden Beige, and this is in medium. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that, which you can see is going to be a little bit light for me right now, and that's one of the reasons that I like to add this in, because it is so much darker. Plus, it takes away kind of the matte look in the L'Oreal when you want to be a little more luminous. So I just add those 2 together, just put a little bit on my cheek as I normally do, and then blend it out with my sponge. How long has my eyebrow been like that? This happens all the time, y'all. Let me fix that real quick. How funny. When I go back and edit this, I know that it will have been like that for probably since I put my primer on. And really, I feel like it only happens when I do that primer. Maybe I'm just rubbing too much on my face. You really don't need much of this foundation. And these 2 together especially. It provides just a really nice, pretty full coverage right off the bat. But this is just matching my face more to my body. We laid out some on the 2nd day, like that, because the first day we were in the Bahamas, and we did like more of like history tours and stuff that day, because I'm a history buff. Like, I love history. I don't know why, but it just gets me all excited to know what happened so long ago. I'm weird like that, but my oldest is the same way, so I have given it to the next generation. But we went on like a history tour thing in Nassau, and then when we were on the ship sailing the next day, we laid out, and oh my goodness, we weren't even out that long, but both of our backs got fried. Like, Chad's was really bad. Poor thing, he got like blisters when we got home. If I burn, it will turn to tan. Like, I don't really peel, but I burned, and it's already like turned to a tan. But so we kind of stayed out of the sun, and then we went snorkeling the next day in St. Thomas, and so our backs were above the water the whole time, and it just added to the burn. So anyways, I didn't get as much sun as I wanted, but I took my self tanner with me, so I still had a little bit of tan that I needed to match my face with. I think that's why I started telling that story. I don't know. I took the Lancome Tint Idol Ultra Wear, this little baby one, and the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer for my concealers. And I think I used the NARS like once, and I use this the rest of the time. So I've showed y'all this before, but this is all that I use in this concealer. This is like a deluxe size sample that I got, and it's lasted me forever. And today I'm just going to take my Beauty Blender straight into it, put just a tiny bit on the tip, and then start right down here and blend up. And this is how much is still left on my hand. So you can see what a small amount of that concealer that I use, which is why it's lasted me forever. Now, I think I mentioned in my daytime the Cover FX bronzer drops. These are the only ones that I took with me. So that's obviously what I wore. Honestly, I just think I need to get a new bottle of this because I'm noticing that because they're so much thicker than when I got them, they almost kind of take my foundation away, especially on my forehead, and ends up looking more patchy than I want it to. But I wanted to use them because it is what I took, and I wanted to stay true to what I actually took with me. I'm still like, I feel like I need to go back on the diet that I was on before we left for the cruise because of how much freaking stuff I ate. And I don't eat bad. Like I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I lost 50 pounds when I was in high school. And I've kept it off since then. But it's not without like a lot of hard work. So I just don't eat bad, and I still didn't eat as bad as I could have. But man, the food on those things, I had forgotten, since it had been 10 years since we had gone on one, forgotten how good the flipping food is. It's amazing. Amazing. And it's there all the time, like every hour of the day. You're hungry, you want pizza at like 2 in the morning? We got pizza for you at 2 in the morning. Just go down to deck 5. It's free. Not really, I mean, you've already paid for it, but still, it's just always there for you. The only powder I took to set my eyes, I know y'all are so surprised, the NARS Crystal Powder. I'm so upset because I lost this one. My one that I keep in my kit, I lost it. I cannot find it. I did a wedding. I got home literally an hour before we had to go to the airport. And so I called the friend that worked the wedding with me and was like, did I leave my NARS? Because I can't find my MAC eye base either. And she said, no, I did a final sweep before I left and nothing was there. So I'm like freaking out. Stuff is disappearing. I lost my Chanel foundation at my house. I lost a Bare Minerals bronzer at my house. And now I can't find my ABH Modern Renaissance palette. I'm pretty sure my kids got a hold of it. I'm just so sick about it. But anyways, that's how much I love it. I use it every single day. Now, for the powder to set my face, I brought 2 powders. And I'm going to use both of them today. It might seem a little high maintenance, but you know. This is the Lorac powder that I think I talked about in a haul. I repackaged it because the packaging is just awful, but I do like the powder. And then I brought my MAC next to nothing. So what I did was, because I did not pack like a ton of powder brushes, the only 2 that I packed were my one that I buff with, and then this one because it's so small, the Morphe E3. And so I take this one into the Lorac and I just like very, very gently tap it in. Just get a little bit on there and kind of tap off the excess. And I'll use this like in my T-zone, and I'll just kind of very gently tap it just to keep that like from getting shiny. Just like that. Don't need to use any more. And then I will take the MAC Next to Nothing. This one is in medium dark, and the Morphe E3, and kind of set the rest of my face. This powder is next to nothing. You will not see powder on your face. I love it. So it was really not any kind of question as to the fact that I was going to pack this, but because I transferred this and it was so little and it works so well at like blurring pores and setting your T-zone, that I took those 2. Okay, bronzer. This is not the only bronzer I took, but it became the only one that I used. It's the Urban Decay Beach Bronzer, and it's in the color Bronzed. And the only bronzer brush that I brought was the 126 Luxe Cheek Finish from Zoeva, because, again, it was so small. Like, I wasn't about to take my Tom Ford brush because it takes up so much room. So, this didn't take up so much room, and I do really like it, so. I use that with the Urban Decay bronzer. I honestly think that I use this bronzer every single night. I don't think I use anything else. I'm just going to top, like, I want it to be bronzed, obviously. A lot of y'all are probably like, you don't even need a powder bronzer over that Cover FX, but, you know, it's not about need, people. It's not about need. It's about wanting to look like I got a lot of nice tan sun instead of having a burnt to the crisp back. For blush, I took 2 blushes. I took this one and the MAC Duo Holiday set that had a blush and a highlighter. But again, I think I only used that blush like once. This is the Becca Luminous Blush in Snapdragon. It's like a little baby size. I tend to pack like deluxe size samples and baby size versions of products when I travel so that they don't take up a lot of room. But I love these blushes. I've talked about it. I'm pretty sure they made it into my top 5 blushes, if I'm correct. I had the highlighter in that MAC Duo, and then this is the only other one I brought, the Laura Geller Gilded Honey. Again, because it's small, and I wasn't afraid of it like breaking. It's not super fragile, where like my Becca ones and my MUA ones, I don't travel with because they will break. And my ABH A23 brush. Very often, really, I would do a bronzer in the crease and I would pop that on the lid, and that would be my look because it was fast and easy. This was the look that I wore on the last night we were there. We went to a really fancy schmancy restaurant that was some of the best food I've ever eaten in my life. Now, if I wanted to go in and buff, I didn't do it every day, but I brought the NYX No Filter Finishing Powder instead of my Hourglass because I just didn't want anything happening to my Hourglass. And this is a nice little drugstore alternative. Now, the only kind of spray that I took is quickly, I mean, this probably will be talked about in my favorites because I love it, and I have a full size as well, but this is the travel size of the Mario Badescu facial spray with aloe, cucumber, and green tea. I'm almost out of it. Oh, I could bathe in it. It feels so good going on your skin. It smells so nice. I like it a lot better than the rose one. I like the rose one, but if I had to choose, I would definitely choose that one. I only took my, no, you know what? I did take my new Wayne Goss brush for under the eyes, the number 20 brush. So I'm just going to go back into this brick color and pick it up on the number 20 brush and put that under the eyes. I just don't feel like myself without a really smoked out under eye. Even if I'm only doing like the bronzer and the highlighter, I will take the bronzer and smoke it out big time under my eye because that's just, it's my comfort zone. I don't know why, but it is. I'm going to take Vermeer, and I took my Sephora Pro Shader number 18, and I'm just going to highlight my inner corners and my brow bone. I mean, I'm not doing any different techniques. Do y'all get bored of me doing the same techniques? Because I just don't change it up on myself. I really don't change it up on my clients either. From what I do on my clients, I don't do the exact same thing on them as I do myself, but I don't know. I feel like efficiency is where it's at when you don't really change it up that much, and I just don't. So if y'all get bored of it, be sure and tell me, and I'll kind of hold off on the tutorials for a while. I either did not line my waterline or I lined it in black, and I'm gonna line it in black. If I went out at night, I lined it in black, but you know, during the day I wasn't wearing makeup. So all I took, I guess what I'm trying to say is all I took was a black liner for my waterline and tight line. This one's the Makeup Forever Aqua XL. Been using that a lot lately. I love the Marc Jacobs one, but this one's kind of stolen my heart at the moment. I'm going to do my mascara off camera. It's the same stuff it always is. I will try to remember to put it down in the description box, but I'll be right back. Okay, so all I've got left is lips, and I did not bring up my lipsticks that I wore because they're still in my purse, but honestly, the only one that I wore pretty much the entire week was Sex Pot by Bare Minerals, their Gin Nude lipstick, and because it's one of the ones that you don't have to have like a mirror for, you just kind of put it on whenever, so that's really the only one that I used. But I'm going to try these. I haven't tried them before. It's the new, I think the I Love Sarah E or something collection from ColourPop, and it's the gloss and liner in the color Curvy. I have no idea how I'm going to like it because that's a little dark, so let's hope this is lighter. I like that. No, this is what I wore, I mean exactly, except for the primer and the lipstick, what I wore at night on my cruise. So hopefully you enjoyed this, and hopefully I went over everything that I actually took. And again, let me know if you want me to kind of like hold off on the tutorials. I am not gonna like come at you with a ton more right away. I do have a lot of other stuff in mind for videos, but also be sure and let me know what you do want to see from me, because while I have a long list, I still like to add to it and make sure that the content that I'm putting out is stuff that y'all actually want to see. So let me know in the comment section below, and thank you so much for watching as always, and I hope you have a very blessed day.